Hello and welcome back, guys. Today we'll be diving into the sci-fi action franchise titled Iron Man 2. Without further ado, make sure to sit back and relax, because I promise you this is going to be an epic one. The film opens in a bleak, wintry Russian setting, where Ivan Vanko is taking care of his ailing father, Anton Vanko. As Anton lies dying, he watches a television broadcast featuring Tony Stark revealing his identity as Iron Man, an event that occurred at the end of the first Iron Man film. Anton, in his final moments, tells Ivan that the arc reactor technology should have been his legacy, expressing bitterness towards Howard Stark, Tony's father. Upon Anton's death, Ivan, driven by revenge, begins working on his own version of the arc reactor, which will eventually power his Whiplash suit. The scene then transitions to the Stark Expo in Flushing, New York. The Expo is a major event showcasing advancements in technology, continuing a legacy initiated by Howard Stark. The atmosphere is electric, filled with anticipation and excitement. Tony Stark makes a dramatic entrance by skydiving into the Expo in his Iron Man suit. As he lands on stage, fireworks explode, and a cheering crowd greets him. The Expo's theme is innovation in the future, embodying Tony's vision for a better world powered by advanced technology. Tony takes center stage and addresses the audience, emphasizing his role in maintaining world peace and showcasing the Iron Man suit's abilities. He confidently declares that he has successfully privatized world peace, underlining his belief that his technology is crucial in preventing global conflicts. The demonstration serves not only to highlight the suit's power but also to position Tony as both a hero and a showman, reveling in his newfound celebrity status, after which the scene opens in Washington, D.C., where Tony Stark is summoned to a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing. The purpose of the hearing is to discuss the national security implications of the Iron Man suit. Senator Stern is presiding over the hearing and is highly critical of Stark's decision to keep the Iron Man technology private. Tony confidently walks into the hearing with his usual swagger, accompanied by his legal counsel, Pepper Potts. Despite Stern's hostile demeanor, Tony remains composed and somewhat playful. The senator demands that Tony hand over the Iron Man suit to the government, arguing that it's a weapon that should be controlled to prevent threats to national security. During the hearing, Senator Stern calls upon witnesses to support his argument. One of the key witnesses is Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, also known as Rhodey, Tony's friend and military liaison. Rhodey is visibly uncomfortable and conflicted, trying to balance his duty to the military and his loyalty to Tony. Under Stern's pressure, Rhodey reads excerpts from a report that highlights the potential dangers of the Iron Man suit. Justin Hammer, CEO of Hammer Industries, a competitor to Stark Industries. Hammer eagerly seizes the opportunity to criticize Tony and promote his own weapons technology. He presents himself as a patriotic businessman ready to help the government by developing similar technologies. Hammer attempts to portray Stark as irresponsible and arrogant, suggesting that Tony's monopoly on advanced technology is dangerous. However, Tony quickly turns the tables. Using his advanced mobile device, Tony hacks into the courtroom's monitors to display classified footage from around the world. This footage reveals failed attempts by other countries and corporations, including Hammer Industries, to replicate the Iron Man technology, often resulting in disastrous and sometimes comical outcomes. Amidst the public and political pressures, Tony is privately dealing with a serious health issue. The arc reactor in his chest, which powers the Iron Man suit and keeps him alive, is slowly poisoning him with palladium. The palladium core is essential for the reactor's function but is causing his blood toxicity levels to rise. Soon Tony throws a lavish birthday party at his mansion. The scene is filled with guests, music, and a festive atmosphere. However, underlying this celebratory tone is Tony's reckless behavior, driven by his knowledge of his deteriorating health. During the party, Tony becomes increasingly irresponsible and erratic. He dons the Iron Man suit not to fight villains, but to entertain his guests. His actions become more reckless as he drinks heavily and performs stunts that are dangerous and inappropriate, showcasing his disregard for safety and responsibility. The tension at the party escalates when Tony's friend, Rhodey, confronts him about his behavior. Rhodey is visibly concerned about Tony's state of mind and his misuse of the Iron Man suit. The confrontation peaks when Rhodey suits up in one of Tony's older Iron Man suits, leading to a destructive fight between the two in the middle of the party. Prior to the party, Tony, recognizing his own instability and the possibility of his impending death due to palladium poisoning, makes a significant decision regarding the future of Stark Industries. He appoints Pepper Potts, his trusted assistant and confidant, as the new CEO of the company. Natalie Rushman is introduced as a new legal assistant at Stark Industries. She is initially presented as a competent and highly skilled addition to Tony's team, catching his eye with her capabilities and mysterious allure. Tony, intrigued by Natalie, engages in a flirtatious and somewhat playful interaction with her. He is impressed by her multilingual abilities and her extensive resume, which includes various impressive feats that suggest she is more than she appears. Pepper is skeptical of Natalie's sudden appearance and the seemingly perfect credentials she presents. Despite this, she accepts Tony's decision to bring Natalie on board, albeit with some reservations. Unbeknownst to Tony and the rest of Stark Industries, Natalie Rushman is actually Natasha Romanoff, an undercover agent for S.H.I.E.L.D., assigned by Nick Fury to monitor Tony's condition and actions. This layer of secrecy adds a subplot of espionage and intelligence to the film, which becomes more significant as the story progresses. The segment begins with Tony Stark attending the Monaco Grand Prix. Despite originally planning to merely spectate, Tony impulsively decides to drive one of the race cars himself. His decision is a mix of his thrill-seeking nature and his coping mechanism for the stress and existential crisis he faces due to his deteriorating health. The scene transitions to Ivan Vanko, who infiltrates the racetrack disguised as a maintenance worker. Vanko, equipped with an advanced harness that produces electrified whips powered by a miniaturized arc reactor similar to Tony's, walks onto the track. As Tony races, Vanko steps onto the track and activates his whips, causing a massive accident. The whips slice through cars, creating a chaotic and dangerous environment. Tony's car is hit, sending it flipping and crashing. Despite the severe crash, Tony emerges from the wreckage, though he's dazed and injured. Vanko approaches him with his electrified whips, intending to kill Tony and send a message to the world about the vulnerability of the Stark technology. Tony, without his Iron Man armor, is at a significant disadvantage. He manages to survive Vanko's initial assault through quick thinking and agility. Tony is able to hold his own momentarily by using debris as improvised shields. Meanwhile, Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan, who are also at the race, realize Tony's in danger. They drive a Rolls-Royce onto the track to reach Tony, and Happy rams Vanko with the car, giving Tony a brief respite. In a pivotal moment, Pepper hands Tony a special briefcase containing a portable version of his Iron Man suit. This new version of the suit, often referred to as the suitcase armor or Mark V, allows Tony to quickly equip his armor on the go. Once suited up, Tony gains the upper hand. The fight intensifies as Vanko's whips clash against the Iron Man suit. Despite Vanko's impressive weaponry, Tony eventually disables Vanko's whips and subdues him. This marks the end of the intense confrontation on the racetrack. Security arrives and arrests Vanko. As he is taken into custody, Vanko taunts Tony, indicating that his actions were just the beginning. This encounter reveals to Tony and the audience that there are individuals out there capable of replicating Stark's technology and using it for nefarious purposes. After being apprehended, Ivan Vanko is transferred to a high-security prison. After all the mess, Hammer orchestrates Vanko's escape. Hammer sees an opportunity to use Vanko's technical prowess to outdo Stark and gain an edge in the weapons industry. Hammer offers Vanko resources, including a workshop and materials, in exchange for creating advanced weaponry and a new suit to rival Iron Man. Vanko accepts the offer but has his own hidden agenda to exact revenge on Tony Stark. Nick Fury, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., approaches Tony. He is accompanied by Natasha Romanoff, who reveals herself as an undercover agent placed to monitor Tony. Fury provides Tony with a temporary remedy to alleviate his poisoning symptoms. Tony Stark is struggling with the palladium poisoning from the arc reactor in his chest, which is slowly killing him. He feels isolated and desperate as he searches for a solution to his problem. Tony receives a visit from Nick Fury, who brings him a case of his father Howard Stark's old materials. Fury leaves him with a personal message. He was one of the founding members of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tony explores the contents of the case, finding old film reels, notes, and a model of the 1974 Stark Expo. Tony watches an old film reel where Howard Stark addresses him directly. Howard speaks about his vision for the future in the arc reactor technology, implying he believed Tony would be able to improve upon his work. The critical moment comes when Howard reveals that the model of the 1974 Stark Expo is actually a diagram for a new element, something he couldn't complete in his time but believed Tony could. Inspired by his father's hidden message, Tony examines the model closely and realizes it outlines the structure of a new element. He starts a detailed process of research and simulation in his lab to synthesize the new element. Tony constructs a particle accelerator in his home lab. Showcasing his engineering genius, he sets up the equipment and begins the process of creating the new element, which involves a highly complex sequence of actions, including using a laser to collide particles. After a tense sequence of scientific procedures, Tony successfully creates a new element. Jarvis, his AI assistant, analyzes the new element and confirms its properties. The new element is capable of providing a clean and sustainable power source for the arc reactor, effectively replacing the toxic palladium. Tony installs the new element into his chest arc reactor. The new reactor is more powerful and eliminates the palladium poisoning, effectively saving Tony's life and enhancing his Iron Man suit's capabilities. Rhodey takes the War Machine armor to the military. Concurrently, Rhodey, who has taken the War Machine armor during Tony's reckless birthday party, decides to hand it over to the US military. Rhodey's decision is driven by a mix of concern for Tony's well-being and his duty as an. Rhodey meets with Justin Hammer, a rival weapons manufacturer. Hammer, eager to outshine Stark Industries, offers to upgrade the War Machine armor with an array of new weapons. Rhodey reluctantly agrees, and Hammer's team starts outfitting the suit with various heavy artillery, including missile launchers and machine guns, turning War Machine into a heavily armed combat suit. Hammer seizes the opportunity of the Stark Expo, a prestigious event celebrating innovation and technology, to unveil the advanced drones developed in collaboration with Ivan Vanko. With great fanfare, Hammer takes the stage to showcase the capabilities of the drones, and introducing Rhodey as a war machine. On the other hand, Tony gets a threatening call from Ivan. Tony, who is really shocked to know that Ivan is alive. While on call, Tony tries to trace down the location and is again shocked to know that it's Hammer Industries, after which he realizes that imminent danger the Ivan pose. Time sliding while Tony gets an amazing entry at the Stark Expo in his new and upgraded suit, and tries to warn War Machine about the upcoming threat Ivan, who is alive. As the conversation is taking place, Ivan, who have secretly reprogrammed Justin Hammer's drones, initiates his plan to wreak havoc at the Stark Expo. Taking control of the drones remotely, Vanko unleashes them upon the unsuspecting crowd, creating chaos and endangering countless lives. With their advanced weaponry and maneuverability, the drones pose a significant threat to both the Expo attendees and Iron Man himself. Meanwhile, Natasha Romanoff, also known as Black Widow, and Tony Stark's trusted friend Happy Hogan embark on a covert mission to infiltrate Justin Hammer's facility. Tasked with disabling the control center for the drones and thwarting Vanko's scheme, Black Widow and Happy demonstrate their resourcefulness and combat skills as they navigate the facility's defenses and engage in stealthy maneuvers to evade detection. As the situation escalates at the Stark Expo, Tony Stark, donning his Iron Man armor, joins forces with his close ally Rhodey, who now operates the heavily armed War Machine suit. Recognizing the imminent danger posed by Vanko's drones, Tony and Rhodey synchronize their efforts and engage in a dynamic aerial battle against the unmanned assailants. Together, they demonstrate remarkable teamwork and combat proficiency as they strategize to neutralize the drones and protect innocent lives amidst the chaos of the Expo. As the battle rages on, the focus shifts to the final showdown between Iron Man, War Machine, and Ivan Vanko, the mastermind behind the drone attack. Vanko, equipped with his own suit powered by arc reactor technology, emerges to confront his adversaries directly, seeking to settle the score with Tony Stark once and for all. The confrontation is charged with tension and personal vendetta, as Vanko unleashes his fury against Iron Man and War Machine, driven by his desire for revenge and his twisted sense of justice. The clash between the three armored combatants escalates into a fierce duel, with each combatant unleashing a barrage of devastating attacks and counterattacks. In a climactic moment, Iron Man and War Machine manage to gain the upper hand against Vanko, leveraging their combined strength and ingenuity to overpower him. Through a combination of strategic teamwork and individual heroism, they finally succeed in defeating their formidable adversary, bringing an end to his reign of terror. With Vanko defeated, the threat posed by his army of drones is neutralized. However, the danger is far from over, as the remaining drones continue to pose a risk to innocent lives. The post-credits scene shifts focus to a remote desert location in New Mexico, where scientists have discovered a mysterious crater. As they investigate, they come across an object of immense power and significance, Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, embedded in the ground. This scene serves as a direct setup for the introduction of Thor, the Asgardian god of thunder. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.